Hi there guys, Vino here and welcome to this Vino Plunk production. Welcome to this OTGV on the go video or a video from a phone, specifically a vlog. It's currently 20 to 4 a.m. on Monday the 26th of October, I think it is. Was it 27th? 27th of October 2025, which also makes this a 3-hour rambles with Vino. How are you guys doing? Hopefully you're doing really well. I'm doing absolutely fantastic. You might be wondering, why am I up at 20 to 4 in the morning on a work day? Well, simply I end up going to bed quite early last night. Not intentionally. I went up to bed to lay down and watch some YouTube, and I ended up falling asleep, basically, which I still think I'm recovering from Thursday into Friday, because I got 1 hour of sleep, if that, maybe an hour and a half of sleep from Thursday into Friday, and I think I'm still catching up there, because Friday was a really busy day at work for me, and it definitely had a knock-on effect. I basically came home from work on Friday. I had something to eat and then went and laid down in bed again to watch some YouTube and just absolutely zonked basically until Saturday. And then most of Saturday have felt quite tired. Most of yesterday, Sunday, have felt quite tired. I was actually in bed most of the day, laying down watching YouTube. I'd gotten up to have something to eat and various things like that. So I strongly do believe that the only hour sleep that I got Thursday into Friday had a knock-on effect. Anyway, so I ended up going to sleep quite early last night. So I'm up for a little bit. I was hungry. I haven't actually had anything to eat yet, so I should probably rectify that and go and get something to eat in a little while. But I thought I'd get up, have a cup of tea, which I have to my left at the moment, watch some YouTube downstairs for a little bit, and then maybe catch a couple of hours again before I need to get up. I need to get up at 7 today, going in to work early today. I'm doing the same thing that I did on Friday, so today is going to be a busy day for me again, but I'm going to be working from home tomorrow and Wednesday, which is going to be pretty cool, because Thursday or Friday I've got my one-to-one, so with my team leader, so I want to go into for that. But yeah, so once today is done, then it should be pretty smooth sailing for the rest of the week. And it is payday on Friday, and I already have a plan for payday. Again, I'm keeping that plan quite close to my chest for now, until I end up doing what I want to do with my pay on Friday. But I'm very excited. I'll say that much. about what I'm going to be doing with my pay. I was going to say something else then, but my brain's gone farted. Brain's gone farted. Good English. Yeah, I was going to say something else then. All I'm going to say is it's another package from America. Oh yeah, I forgot. I should really show this off, shouldn't I? This is the Transformers G1 set. There it is. So the Shout Factory G1 set that came out in 2009 or 2008. Anyway, came out one of those years. It literally came out the year of, or just after, or just before the first Bayformers, the Michael Bay series, movie series of Transformers, and this was for the 25th anniversary of Transformers. This is a very much sought after set. It's very much out of print. Be careful if you do want this set. There are lots of fakes out there. I was actually really concerned this could have been a fake. I mean, if it is a fake, it's a fucking good fake, I'll tell you that much. I don't think it is a fake looking through it, but I'm very happy to now have this in the collection. And as I said in one of my previous videos, I may not have uploaded it though, The reason why that particular set is also kind of sought after for people who live in the UK is because G1 was distributed all over the place, and many different companies got the right to distribute G1. A particular company called Rhino, which is actually the subsidiary of another company, or there's a company that's a subsidiary of Rhino that's still releasing Transformers sets today. Anyway, what Rhino decided to do in their kind of infinite wisdom is they decided to re-release Transformers G1, but spruce it up a little bit. So they took the mono mix, yes, mono mix, and made it a 5.1 mix. And they also decided to spruce up the visuals, shall we say. What do I mean by spruce up the visuals? Let's talk about the audio for now. So you take a mono mix of something and you turn it into a 5.1 mix. Now, already it's a bit of a stretch to take a stereo mix and make it surround sound, but it is possible. You can take the voice, you can take the background sound, music, you can take the explosions, I don't know, you can take the sound effects, you can split those up. But when you've got a mono track, that's a lot harder to do. So what Rhino decided to do was introduce more sound effects into the show. Now, personally, I don't remember Transformers well enough for these sound effects to affect me or to piss me off. But if you look on the internet, there's a fair share of people that avoid the Rhino releases of Transformers like the plague. They really do not like the Rhino releases of Transformers. They also introduce extra visual elements into the show that again makes it look more like a comic book show than it does the original G1 cartoon. Needless to say, a lot of people don't like the Rhino sets. The problem with here in the UK is any set you buy is taken from the Rhino Masters. I'm going to use air quotes on that one when I say Rhino Masters, because that's the other caveat when it comes to Rhino. They didn't take their footage and sound from the source. They took it from the original VHSs, I think, of Transformers. They didn't take it from the original Masters, so the quality is not the best. Which is another reason why they wanted to introduce more sounds into it, because the source sound that they had was not the best. So, yeah, anyway. Now, whilst I don't mind the Rhino releases, in fact, I have two sets of Transformers that I think both have the Rhino versions of Transformers, and I've watched through them all and haven't had that much of an issue. There is something inside of me, something inside so strong. No, there is something inside of me that has always wanted to have the original, untouched, as it's meant to be seen, G1. And that's what's on that set. So, Shout Factory were one of the first distributors of Transformers on DVD in the US, and they knocked it out of the park with that set, basically, as Shout Factory did back then. They still do nowadays, but I'm a bit more cynical of Shout Factory nowadays, because they definitely have gotten a lot more capitalist than they were back then. Back then, they were a for the consumer, for the customer brand and distributor. Nowadays, it's more for the moolah, more than it is for the end buyer, the end consumer of their products, to be honest. Anyway, that's a story, thing for another video at some point. So that is the original masters. It's the original audio. It is remastered. They have taken the original masters again and done with them what they've needed to do, and it's brilliant. I think there is a stereo mix on there as well as a mono mix, but you've got the choice of whether you pick the mono mix or the stereo mix. There are some versions out there that do have the 5.1 mix as an option. That's fine. If you want the 5.1 mix as an option, you might be nostalgic for the 5.1 mix. You may have only ever watched the Rhino versions of Transformers G1, so you might actually be nostalgic for the 5.1 mix. There are some releases out there that have an option for the mono, the stereo, and the 5.1 mix. Knock your socks off. If you can find one of those versions out there, but that is a creme de la creme when it comes to G1, basically. So I'm very happy to now have that in the collection. Anyway, I'm going to go for a little bit, probably, as I said, get something to eat, and I'll check back with you guys a little bit later. Hi there, guys. So it's currently coming up for 10 to 8 p.m. I did end up having the BLT, bacon, lettuce, tomato sandwich, which was bloody lovely. And I've offered a takeaway to me and my housemate. So when they come home, I will buy us a takeaway. I quite fancy a Chinese, but we'll see what they want. What they want. So yeah, that's what's happening for this evening. I thought I would jump on here and say a bit of a correction. So I said in I think it was my previous video, at the end of that video, I was talking about Power Rangers and the future of Power Rangers. So it has been revealed within the last few days or the week or so, there is going to be a 2026 reboot series with Disney Plus. And the reason why that is, again, there's a bit of surprise in my voice. For those of you who don't know, Disney used to own the rights to Power Rangers for a lot of the 2000s. I think, was it Wild Force was the first Power Rangers season? Or was it Lightspeed Rescue? I always forget. Because the Saban era came to an end. And then Disney did have the last Saban series was Disney put onto their various channels back in the day, their various networks back in the day. But I think it was Wild Force was the first purely Disney production, in that Saban had nothing to do with that one. I always forget exactly how things worked out, basically. But the reason why details have been released recently is because there is a YouTube channel called Ninja Kids who have like almost 24 million subscribers. And they've been working on a fan series of Power Rangers that's actually sanctioned by Hasbro and I think partly funded by Hasbro. Unfortunately, though, within the last few days, the trailer has been leaked. It hasn't been officially announced on their YouTube channel. You would think it would be, but unfortunately it's been leaked. And apparently, because there is quite a lot of AI use in that video, Hasbro apparently aren't very happy and have delayed that series indefinitely for now, while Ninja Kids and Hasbro obviously come to some sort of arrangement, and it goes on from there. I personally have watched the trailer quite a few times, and I don't mind the AI that's being used. I don't understand this big hoo-ha over AI, but it seems a lot of the internet really doesn't like AI usage. But then there's not a lot of nuance on the internet. There is no nuance on the internet. There is no grey areas or either black or white when it comes to the internet. So, you know, I doubt you'll find anybody that's sort of in the middle, which is where I am, really. I'm kind of meh about AI. If it's used correctly, fantastic. If it's not, you know, obviously that's a concern. But if it's using something, as long as it's used well, I don't really mind. Yes, the trailer did look a bit janky, but as some of the individuals involved with the new the Ninja Kids Power Ranger series, which includes the suit designer, which I've forgotten their name right now. Toku J, I think his name is. We'll call him Toku J for now. But yeah, Toku J is involved in the series, and he put out a statement the other day saying that trailer was leaked. That wasn't the final trailer. So it's possible they used AI in the trailer to almost like a proof of concept to Hasbro or whoever, or whoever had to show that trailer to, and they were gonna, what's the word? They were going to work on the trailer and before they released it to the public, but of course it's now been leaked, and because of that leak, Hasbro have put the mockers on it, so to speak, which does imply that Hasbro didn't know what was going on. So maybe this is not the trailer that they showed to Hasbro. I'm given the benefit of the doubt, basically, that maybe, just maybe, this was a proof of concept. It was a rough around the edges trailer, wasn't finished, and they were going to spruce up the AI elements with actual elements, so to speak. They're going to, maybe mask over or change the AI elements. But at the end of the day, as some people have said, such as the Sixth Ranger, as he has said, when it comes to Power Rangers, we're used to jankiness. We're used to it not being, the highest production or the highest budget that we've ever seen. So the fact that it's a bit rough around the edges, I think adds to its charm. But nonetheless, it has been confirmed, seemingly, that Hasbro have put that on hiatus for now, on deep ice, on the deep chill. And sort of because of that news, it has now been announced that there is going to be a 2026 reboot with, again, Disney Plus, which is really funny to me because, again, Disney owned the rights to Power Rangers for a long, long time. And really ironically, a lot of people, a lot of fans didn't like the Disney era of Power Rangers. Excluding, of course, RPM, because everyone seems to love RPM. If you don't know, RPM was the last series that Disney were involved in. Disney legitimately thought that Power Rangers was going to come to an end after RPM because no one seemed interested in taking on the IP again. So they went all out with RPM as if it was the last ever series of Power Rangers, much like Power Rangers in Space. And they knocked it out the park. And Saban actually bought the rights off of Disney. In the end, it went back to Saban, and then went from Saban to Hasbro after that. So it actually went back to Saban for a period of time, and they worked on a few series, or the second Saban era, if you will. Now, it's no, what's the word? I don't know whether RPM being of high quality, all of a sudden got people interested, and it was Saban were the first across the finish line, so to speak, in terms of the bids that people made to buy the rights off of Disney, or whether Disney were like, oh, hello, Saban, you want the rights back? Here, have them. We're washing our hands of this. I don't know, really. And the reason why Disney were washing their hands of Power Rangers is it was getting more and more expensive to keep going Power Rangers, much like that's why Saban sold the rights to Power Rangers in the first place, because it was getting more and more expensive. They had to do more American footage. There was less Sentai footage to adapt from. They had to stretch things along, and the same thing was apparently happening with Disney, because they had to stretch things along and all that kind of stuff, and it was getting more and more expensive. And it's really weird. It's almost like the philosophy of Power Rangers. It must be a budget show. So as soon as it starts, it's almost like whoever has Power Rangers, although Hasbro did put some money behind Dino Fury, Cosmic Fury, and Once and Always. To be fair, there was a fair budget behind those from the looks of things, much more than previous series. Power Rangers, it seems whoever has Power Rangers is not willing to put money into the show. So it was like, this is a budget show. This will always be a budget show. I don't understand it. I don't understand. You know, the rights of Power Rangers have changed 3 or 4 times. And it seems between Disney and Saban, they're not willing to put money into it. It's like when it started becoming too expensive for Saban, they washed their hands of it. When it started becoming too expensive for Disney, they washed their hands of it. It's almost like, oh, this is a budget show. We can't go over this budget, otherwise it's not Power Rangers anymore. I disagree. Oh no, it's not that it's not Power Rangers anymore. It's like, if it goes over this budget, we're not carrying on with it, you know. Whereas you hear of some productions going way over budget, and the company behind it not caring because they know it's going to make the money back, or they know that the end product was of high standard. You know, it might have cost more than they're expecting. Well, it's almost like the Power Rangers, it could only cost this amount of money. I don't understand it. I really don't understand. But having said that, you can tell there's much more production values behind Dino Fury and Cosmic Fury and all that. And the Hasbro era does seem to have more production value behind it than previous iterations of Power Rangers had. So, you know, hopefully, with Disney dollars now on their side, hopefully it will actually keep going now, and won't be put on another hiatus. But that's the latest. I thought I'd come on here with this segment and say that, because I said the future of Power Rangers doesn't look very good. But it seems recently, I didn't know about this Ninja Kids series, I'll be honest. It's a web series, not an actual TV or streaming series, although YouTube is a streaming platform at the end of the day. They have their own original programming. Cobra Kai came from YouTube, you know. So, anyway, what I was going to say. So, yeah, I thought I'd come on here and just say that, because there has been some news recently, Power Rangers related news. So, I thought I'd come on here and share that with you guys. My apologies there, guys. There was like a stream of light going down my face. It normally means that the camera needs a bit of, the lens needs a bit of cleaning. I've just cleaned it, and as you can see, that stream of light has now gone away. That's a good bit of FYI for anybody. If you do have like a strip of light that goes down your video, it's probably because your lens is a bit mucky, so just give it a bit of a clean off. I just used my top literally to clean it off, and now it's gone. But yeah, the chicken nuggets weren't as good as they were fresh from the restaurant directly, not being delivered. Obviously, I've got them delivered. But hey, they hit the mark. I'm still absolutely starving, which I may go venture into the kitchen in a bit, or I might even venture to the shop. We'll see how I feel, and I might get something to eat. I'm not sure if I have anything in the fridge left. I do have some things in the freezer that I could have, but I don't have anything in the fridge, I don't think. So I could head to the co-op and get some bacon or something. But with the money that I've gotten from selling those Doctor Who sets, I might put that money towards either getting some sets from eBay over the weekend, or I might end up buying a handheld with it. Again, I'm going to keep what I might be getting relatively secret, but there is a handheld that I've had my eye on for 2-3 years now, basically. And it's a handheld, it's an FPGA handheld, or field programmable gate array, or fully programmable gate array. I've heard either term used for it. And it's a specific handheld that base-wise, without any extra cores, I am giving a lot of hints here, can play 3 console worth of games. But there are some adapters you can buy for it, and then it can play other generations of games on there. But you can also load up an SD card with extra cores on it, and you can play games on it from various systems from these cores. For those of you who don't know, when it comes to FPGA systems, an FPGA is basically a human programmable CPU / GPU, basically, or you can they are programmable componentry, basically. And cores are the consoles, basically. So the one that I want to purchase, the seller has actually put a SNES core, or a Super Nintendo Entertainment System core on there, as well as Chrono Trigger on there. And basically, FPGAs work just like the real thing. It's not emulation, it's simulation. Even calling it simulation is not exactly what it is, but they're very close to the original hardware, basically. But I've had my eye on one of these consoles for, I said, 3 years at this point, and so I'm strongly considering buying one of these over the weekend. There's one that's popped up on Facebook Marketplace, and it's a train trip away. So I'm strongly considering going to buy it, and then I'll have one of those in the collection, and I will have a test around with it. I actually found one of our own versions of this handheld. I'm being really secretive. I found our old Game Boy Color the other day and played on it for a little bit. And this particular item, this handheld I want to buy, is basically an updated form of the Game Boy Color. So there you go. I'll give you that much for now. But I'm going to go for a bit. Go and get some food. Probably from the shop now. Or maybe the kitchen. I don't know. Get some food. Oh, I have a sandwich in the fridge. Hey, I've got a sandwich from yesterday. A BLT sandwich. I'll have that. So I'll have that. And then I might go to the Co-op a bit later. For what to have for dinner. Or I do have some chicken Kievs in the freezer, which I might have those with some hash browns or something. Yeah, that's what I might do, actually. Anyway, I'll check back with you later, guys. Hi there, guys. So it's currently 5 past, or just gone 5 past 4 p.m. on the same day. I did end up ordering, I ordered them because they're on the way. I did end up having my garlic and pepper chicken nuggets. They weren't as good as they were the other day when I had them fresh from a in-person McDonald's, so to speak. Give me 2 moments. So hi guys, I'm back, not just in this segment, but I'm also back from my city centre. It's currently 12:15 p.m. on the same day, the 27th, 8th. I've forgotten the date. Things are sort of just blurring together today for me. So I did end up taking down my Doctor Who sets. To be honest, I just grabbed, there's a bag at the bottom of the stairs, or there was a bag at the bottom of the stairs. I just grabbed that and took that down, basically. So we were actually due a house visit last week. It never happened, basically. But because of that house visit, I put a load of box sets and stuff into a bag, into a B&M bag. And I put it at the bottom of the stairs to be taken upstairs later on. I just grabbed that bag, to be honest. Went down to CX. There is some stuff in this CX bag that was in that bag that I didn't want to sell, such as the Japanese Transformers series, Transformers 1 and Rise of the Beasts, Transformers Rise of the Beasts, as well as the Akira Kurosawa Samurai collection, because they're all in that bag as well. But I literally just gotten those, literally 2 weeks ago. I've just gotten those, so I wasn't going to sell those back to CX that quickly. Plus, I want to keep them. To be honest, I've just gotten the G1 Transformers set. I'm not going to sell the Japanese sets that quickly. Anyway, beside the point, I got just over £200 for the lot, so that's pretty damn good. I've just ordered myself some of those chicken nuggets. I've had to get a is it a green cross Sprite or apple cross Sprite, whatever it is. I actually quite like that drink, but I've had to get that, otherwise there'd be a small delivery fee or charge fee or small order fee. That's what it is. So I've had to do that. That's on its way. I'm going to enjoy those when they get here, and I'm back in plenty of time for the meeting at 2 o'clock. So all has planned. All that was planned has panned out. There we go. That's what I was trying to say. Watching some YouTube at the moment. Probably going to play some games this afternoon. I'm feeling some Dead by Daylight. I was playing some Dead by Daylight yesterday as a killer, because me and Luke, who's a really good friend of mine, for those of you who don't know, me and Luke were playing some DVD the other day, and we played against the Nightmare, which is Freddy Krueger. And Luke was saying, I think I was saying, that he's changed. He has some different abilities. So I said to Luke, I'll play as Freddy, myself as the killer, and see what he's like. And he has changed. There are actually quite a few differences when it comes to Freddy. So I feel playing some more of DVD as the killer. I also played some games as the Dredge the other day, which is probably my favourite character. You can teleport to lockers and burst out lockers, and it's really fun. And I'm actually pretty good as the Dredge, if I do say so myself. So I really do like playing as the Dredge. I played some games as a Dredge, and I might play some games as Wesker and as Dracula, because I bought those at the beginning of the month. Haven't really played around with them too much, so I might give those a bit of a go and see if I can get to grips with some of those killers. But yeah, Dredge is my go-to killer at the moment. I'm pretty good with the Dredge, but I am experimenting with some other killers at the moment, including Freddy Krueger. Freddy Krueger was my go-to way back in the day. I was really good with Freddy Krueger, but it seems everybody was good for Freddy Krueger. He was kind of overpowered. They nerfed him into the ground, and then no one used him. Basically, no one uses him. But they seem to have made some changes recently that do make him a little bit more viable than he was before, but he's still not the best killer by far. You don't play him for the meta, you play him just because you want to play as Freddy Krueger, to be honest. But yeah, I'm going to check out some of that later on. I'm kind of considering buying Battlefield 6. We'll see how I feel later. I do need to look at the storage on my PlayStation, because I am definitely running out of storage. So I need to look at that and uninstall some stuff that I'm not going to play for a while. And then we'll go from there. But that's what's happening at the moment. I'm going to go wait for these chicken nuggets and my Sprite. Yeah, and we'll go from there. Hi there, guys. So it's currently 10 to 10 a.m. on Tuesday the 27th or 28th. Let me look at that up quickly. 28th of October 2025. And I have today off work. Now, you may notice from my demeanour that that's not a very positive. I've got today off work. No, I've got today off work because the reason I've got today off work is very utilitarian. I have something to sort. In order to explain what happened yesterday, I need to go back a little bit to explain what happened yesterday. I went from about £50 in my bank account down to 43p. So at the beginning of this month, or leading into the month, I had a lot of problems with my bank accounts, and specifically the cards that are connected to those bank accounts. I have 3 bank accounts, one with Think Money, 2 with TSB. And basically, long story short, between the 3 different accounts, 2 of them got hacked. Not hacked per se, but there was fraudulent activities going through both of them from a very specific vendor, and turns out they are absolutely fraudulent, and they've been doing what they've been doing for a long time. At some point, I'm going to do a video on this company, so to speak, company, air quotes, saying that very, very loosely, on this company to bring it to other people's attention so they don't get caught out by the same scam, hack, whatever you want to call it, that I got caught out with, basically. But because of this company's interactions and transactions with my bank account, I had to freeze my bank cards, basically. I've had 4 new bank cards over the course of October from both Think Money and TSB to, obviously, they cancelled the old card, given me a new card because, of course, because of the situation with this scam, hack, whatever you call it, I've had to have new cards. Now, I thought for the longest time one of the cards had been frozen from TSB's end, but I don't froze it from my end, but it still didn't work. That was the card I had associated with a bunch of different places. It's the one I had associated with Apple Pay. So it'd pay for Apple Music, it would pay for Apple Arcade, it'd pay for Apple TV, all the different Apple services that I subscribe to. It also, the Apple Pay element was also attached to a bunch of different websites. I found out the other day, due to me forgetting the PIN on one of my TSB cards and not having my Think Money card with me, I put in the other TSB card, put the PIN in, and it worked. And I was like, oh, okay, so that card works now, randomly. So I then re-added that card to Apple Pay. That was probably not, I wouldn't say, in hindsight, not the smartest decision, because it then proceeded to charge me several subscriptions that hadn't gone out yet because that card was frozen, or at least I thought it was frozen. It'd been disconnected from Apple Pay, and thus all of those subscriptions were on a hiatus of sorts, waiting for me to reapply another card so I could be charged for the services that I've been using for the last month or so. So I basically got charged 50 quid worth of subscriptions yesterday. Now, having said that, I have gotten £15 back from Amazon today, which will help because I might need to get a taxi down to where I'm going. But long story short, although I say long story short, I actually explained everything that's gone on. I'm going to be going down to CX today to sell some stuff to get me through, basically, which is why I have today off work. Now, I do ideally need to get this all done by 2 o'clock because I need to be back home by 2 o'clock because I do have 2 team meetings at work to attend to. Even though I'm off, I will be attending those meetings because one of them is actually quite an important meeting to attend, and I was contacted 3 times yesterday, once by a team leader, twice by colleagues, to say, are you going to be there for that meeting? It's quite important that you turn up. So I'm going to make sure that I turn up to that meeting today, and that's at 2 o'clock. It'll be obviously on my laptop, my work laptop, so I don't have to go anywhere, obviously. But I do need to be there for that meeting because I have promised to be there for said meeting. So I'll be there for said meeting. I don't think what I want to take down and sell is going to take that long. It's more going to take time to scan everything in. But I'm probably going to be taking down my Doctor Who, The Collection box sets. They've kind of been on the chopping block for a while, and to be honest, I'm just going to sell them, use the money for whatever, to be honest. I am going to be buying some box sets this Friday on eBay, and to be perfectly honest with you, the extra money I'll get from these sets will help out with that. Also, I found out over the weekend that my Nightmare on Elm Street set, the 4K Steelbook set, the HMV, well, I was ordering it from HMV, the Warner Brothers set, got cancelled on me. And I don't know why it got cancelled. It's possible that it is connected to all of the card issues that I've been having over the month of October. And it may have been cancelled because they weren't able to take the money or something. I don't know. But that has been cancelled. So, yeah, it is what I didn't have the money for it anyway. So it being cancelled isn't the worst in the world. But it does mean I do need to buy that set. I'm thinking of buying the standard edition set, not the Steelbook set, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I'm going to get something to eat because I'm actually really, really hungry. I'm going to go down to my city centre, sell these box sets, come back and enjoy my day off. I'm probably also, while I'm out, going to get some of the McDonald's garlic and pepper chicken nuggets, because I had some of those the other day and they were bloody lovely. There's a fire alarm at work, and we've literally got a McDonald's over the road. So I went over there because we've got to wait 45 minutes before we can come back. So I went over to that McDonald's with a colleague and had their pepper and garlic chicken nuggets, and they were so nice. So I'm going to get some more of those today. Yeah, and that's the plan for today, essentially. But I do need to have something to eat before I go out. I'm quite hungry right now, and I do have some stuff in the fridge that I can have for now that'll keep the wolf from the door, and then I can get some stuff later on. But that's the plan. I'm kind of in two minds about it. In some ways, it's kind of my own fault that some of this happened, in a sense. But the same token, shit happens. The world carries on, sort of thing. Anyway, I'm going to go and get something to eat, get all ready, go down to my city centre, come back ready for that meeting. Yeah, and I think everything will go smoothly today, I hope. Hi guys, so it's currently 18:52 or 6:52 p.m, still on Wednesday the 29th of October. As you can see, I've come upstairs to lay in bed for a little bit. I'm going to watch some YouTube and relax for a little bit. What did I have earlier? The sausage roll I had earlier did help. Still haven't had any bacon sandwiches or anything, but I will have some to eat soon because I'm actually quite hungry thinking about it, and I should eat because I did throw up earlier, so obviously I need to replace what I lost. But the reason I'm popping on to record this segment is I've managed to find something on Facebook Marketplace, and what I've managed to find, I've just realised, by the way, that I can actually release this video after I've... What the hell am I touching? I can actually release this video after I've bought the things that I want to buy, and therefore that's going to allow me to speak a bit more freely about them. So first of all, one of the items that I've wanted to buy... Hi guys, so it's currently 5:15. I did end up clocking off of work. I am feeling a little bit better now. I'm about to actually have some of this sausage roll, actually, because I'm quite hungry at the moment. And then later on I'm going to have some more bacon sandwiches, which I did have earlier. I'm just going to take it easy for tonight. But today has gone pretty well. Did some work this morning. Obviously had this afternoon off. It is what it is at the end of the day. I wasn't feeling up to it, but hopefully I will, return to work tomorrow bushy-eyed, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, ready to go. Basically, going to go and grab a cup of tea or something. I do have some milk still in here. Might go and have another cup of milk, have a cup of tea, relax for this evening, I think, today. I did say earlier that I have gone ahead and pre-ordered the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection. I've watched some videos on it. Really looking forward to that unlocking. Hopefully at midnight tonight that will unlock, so I can play that tonight. Yeah, because I'm going to be working from home tomorrow and then going to the office on Friday because it's my 1-to-1. But yeah, that's essentially what's happening at the moment. So I thought I'd just pop on here, let you guys know what's going on. I'll speak to you guys quite a bit later on. Hi guys, so it's currently 5:02 p.m. on Wednesday the 29th of October 2025. I'm not feeling brilliant right now. I've already thrown up twice, as it were. I've taken some time out from work at the moment. Let my team leader know, obviously. Taken some time out for now just to see how I feel, and I feel quite dizzy, nauseous, don't feel good at all right now, but I thought I'd record a little segment to update you guys on what's going on. I'm actually, if you can't tell, delayed with my words because I actually feel like I'm about to throw up again. I know that's maybe a bit TMI for some people, but you know, these videos are meant to be, you know, daily life, how it comes, and that's how I feel. All right, now, to be honest, I do apologise. Obviously, if it was much more than just simply me throwing up, I'd probably be a bit more secretive about it, obviously. But, you know, I'm not. It's not like I'm explaining exactly what's coming up, am I? So I thought I'd pop on here and say that I've actually gone ahead and pre-ordered the Mortal Kombat Legacy collection, which is actually launching tomorrow. I'm hoping I get access to it midnight tonight. It actually was $35.99 rather than $39.99 because there was some money off of being a PlayStation Plus subscriber. There's something in the back of my head that's telling me that's probably going to be a PlayStation Plus game, and I've just wasted my money. But having said that, I need to remember that just because I have PlayStation Plus doesn't mean that stops me, you know, being able to buy a game. And I've got the money right now, to be honest. My housemate, or my father, has offered to give me my birthday money on a Friday when we get paid, although it's not my birthday until a couple weeks' time, so I could just, you know, take my birthday money then, and essentially I've just bought Mortal Kombat with my birthday money. But I bought it because I was watching Mustard and Ketchup's channel, and I'm not sure which one it was that was talking, either Mustard or Ketchup. They sound so similar to me. They are twins, for those of you who don't know. So they sound very similar to me. I can never tell which, if you don't, I can't see them, I can never tell which one is talking. I do apologise to anybody that's fans of them, even if they watch my videos. I do apologise, but sorry. What I was going to say, and one of them was talking and going through the training mode of Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, and it's so robust, so good. And then some people in the comment section were saying that they're looking forward just to playing through these games, not even online, just offline, just pissing about with them like you did back in the day, or having these games available on a modern system. I'm looking forward just to playing through them and doing all the fatalities, because fatalities have always been one of my favourite elements of the Mortal Kombat series. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I thought I'd go ahead and purchase it. And, you know, $35.99 for how many games you get in the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection sounds to me like a good time. So, gone ahead and pre-ordered that. I'm really looking forward to playing that, playing that tonight when it launches at midnight. But yeah, just thought I'd come in here, give you a bit of an update. I'm going to go. This segment obviously is going to be rather quick because I'm not feeling good right now, and I'll check back with you guys later.